So today we're going to be talking about All Might, the #1 hero of justice, the symbol of peace, basically the Japanese Superman. And before I begin, I'm not going to be power scaling this to any other types of anime such as Dragon Ball or Naruto, because every anime is completely different and it would make no sense comparing All Might to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, if that makes any sense. But I will be referencing other types of anime and other types of shows. With that being said, let's begin the video and see how strong is All Might in his prime. So how strong is All Might? Well, All Might is the 8th holder of the One for All, and the One for All is a combination of two quirks, basically two powers, a transformation quirk and a stockpiling energy quirk, which gives the user superhuman strength, superhuman speed, and 9 invulnerability for a limited time. And All Might's able to use this power with ease. As he said himself, when he was younger, he got the power and instantly, just like that, he was able to control it at will. And with Midoriya, his student, he's not able to be at that state like All Might was when he was younger, but he's getting to it. But this is about All Might, not Midoriya. So All Might is basically the Japanese Superman, and we're going to be discussing how strong he is. Back when he was fighting Nomu in season 1, I believe episode 12, he stated himself that had he been in his prime, he would have been able to defeat Nomu with ease with just 4 freaking punches, compared to about 312 punches he used in the show, plus Ultra, the last punch. And All Might himself, it's really interesting because right now he's at his weakest state. He can only use his muscle form for about 3 hours max, and then he reverts back to his little skeleton form, which is a downgrade because he can go from skeleton form to big muscular Super Saiyan form. And yes, I'm going to be referencing other animes like I said earlier. And Nomu, when he was fighting Nomu is about Hulk level type of strength, because Nomu was able to go head on with All Might, and as far as we know, no other hero or villain has been able to do that as of yet. NANI? And if you wanna get spoiled for the next couple arcs that's gonna be happening in My Hero Academia season 3, then I suggest skip this video or skip this part. Anyways, so this will happen right after the Forest arc, which is currently taking place in this season. So the Hideout Raid arc takes place in chapters 80 through 94. 80 through 94, yes. And it starts off with Bakugo getting kidnapped by the League of Villains, and the League of Villains are trying to convince Bakugo to turn to the dark side and betray everyone else. And he, like Bakugo normally does, he says F off, and that gets everyone angry. And so Tamura calls in his master Sensei All For One, the big bad of My Hero Academia. And we don't really know much of him. We really haven't seen that much of him. He's really been a shadow, and until now we see how he is. And that's when All Might steps in with the other heroes and starts fighting him. It gets to a point where it's just All Might and All For One, one-on-one fighting, and when they fight, they are beasts. They destroy entire levels of city blocks, entirely destroyed. Like All Might's full power, or when he unleashes his full power, is super destructive. If you can't tell by this panel, everything gets destroyed. All Might is fighting with all his effort, and All For One is literally taking it with ease. He's laughing it out and saying, this is not your full power. You are getting weak, old man. And All For One is just taunting All Might, and All Might doesn't really know what to do until the Gran Torino and Endeavor step in to help fight him. And All Might is really pushed to his limits as when he's back to his weakened skeleton form after fighting for so long, because he really can't hold that form forever. He goes back into his weakened skeleton form, and All For One is just taunting him, and as the world watches him, he's laughing, saying, this is you, old man. Where's that smile of yours? Where's that full power? And then until All Might gets confidence from everyone, that lady, everyone is just pouring their hearts and hopes into All Might. He unleashes his strongest punch ever, the United States of Smash, basically the equivalent to the Kamehameha. It is super destructive and it is enough to defeat All For One. So following the battle with All For One, All Might is no longer able to go back into his muscle form because he lost his power. It is now imbued with Midoriya. Midoriya is now the carrier of the One For All. And so All Might now is struggling to deal with what happened, and it's gonna have massive repercussions in the series. What happens after this, I don't know. I'll probably cover that eventually, but let me know what you guys want. If you want me to cover more My Hero Academia stuff, because I will cover it. And so to compare how strong All Might is now, currently to his prime, because his prime All Might was about 5 years ago, before his injury to his stomach. So currently at full power, it is gone. Had he done this in his prime, fought All For One, he would have destroyed All For One with complete ease and still had about 50% of his power, because he went 100% and out fighting All For One in the manga. Like, if you don't believe me, check out right here. He went even further beyond when fighting Nomu, because when he was fighting Nomu, he went beyond, but he didn't use his full power. He probably used about 70% of his power, because that was not 100%. And when it means 100%, all his power is completely gone. That is what I mean when All Might uses all his power. And if you guys don't believe me how strong he is, All Might is able to change the weather with one of his punches. I believe it is the Detroit Smash or Delaware Smash. He's able to change the entire weather, because back in season 1 episode 2, when he was fighting the slug villain to save Bakugo, he destroyed the monster with ease and the weather changed entirely. Like, tell me, what other hero in My Hero Academia can do that? Change the weather with just their fist alone. Only All Might can, and only All For One was able to stand toe to toe with All Might, along with Nomu, but Nomu is kind of irrelevant at this point. So All Might, I would say in his prime, is about raw levels of Hulk strength, but he's equivalent to about modern day Superman levels of strength. That's how he would have been in his prime. As of right now, he's weakened, so he would be about half of Superman. In his prime, he would be like modern day Superman, like super strong, super fast, able to defeat anyone with complete ease. That's how strong he would be. But if I were to categorize it and not compare it to any other fictional characters, there would be 3 sections. Low tier, street level, which is characters such as Aizawa. They're strong, but they can't destroy buildings or entire areas. Mid tier, which is where characters such as Todoroki fit in, and the Nomus, because they're able to destroy large areas, but they can't destroy entire cities. And high tier is characters who are able to destroy entire cities or wipe out entire populations. That is where All Might and All For One would fit in. That is how high they would get. And All Might in his prime would be even further beyond that, because All Might in his prime, like I said, is Superman level of strength. Right now, he's Superman, but weak Superman. Like weak Superman when he's under Red Sun. And that's pretty much how strong he would be. I was thinking of comparing this to other types of anime, but that would have made no sense whatsoever. So comparing him to other heroes such as Hulk and Superman made a lot more sense. So thank you guys for watching my power scaling video on how strong All Might was back in his prime. Now he's strong. So yeah, that's pretty much the future of All Might and how the strength wise how he is. Right now he's about incredible Hulk levels of strength, and this prime Superman level types of strength. And yes, in my opinion, Hulk is weaker than Superman. So if you guys want to debate about it, debate. I'll leave that up to you. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next My Hero Academia video.